published by BibleVise. The book of Numbers chronicles the Israelites' 40 years of wandering in the wilderness after their escape from Egypt. These Numbers chapter summaries offer a concise overview of the key themes and events in each chapter, providing a helpful guide for understanding this complex and often overlooked book. When you are done reading here, you may also want to check out our complete list of Bible chapter summaries for every book of the Bible. Book of Numbers summary by chapter. Chapter 1. Counting the Israelites. Following their escape from Egypt, God instructs Moses to take a census of the Israelites, specifically men above 20 years old who are fit for military service. This count reveals a total of 603,550, excluding the Levite tribe who are designated for priestly duties. Chapter 2. Ordering the camp. The Israelites are instructed on how to camp around the tabernacle, the portable sanctuary, with each tribe assigned a specific location based on their family lineage. This layout reflects the social structure of the Israelites and their relationship to the holy place. Chapter 3. Duties of the Levites. The Levites, dedicated to serving God at the tabernacle, are organized into 3 families: the Kohathites, Gershonites, and Merites. Each family is assigned specific tasks related to transporting and maintaining the tabernacle and its sacred vessels. Chapter 4. Carrying the tabernacle. Detailed instructions are provided for the proper way to dismantle, transport, and reassemble the tabernacle. Each Levite family is entrusted with specific items, emphasizing the importance of ritual purity and careful handling of the holy objects. Chapter 5. Laws and Rituals. This chapter outlines various laws and rituals regarding social and religious matters. It includes regulations for dealing with impurity, jealousy, and vows, as well as instructions for bringing offerings to the Lord for various purposes. Chapter 6. The Nazirite Vow. This chapter details the regulations for taking the Nazirite vow, a special commitment to dedicate oneself to God for a set period. The Nazirite observes specific restrictions, such as abstaining from alcohol and haircuts, as a sign of their devotion. Chapter 7. Offerings from the leaders. The leaders of each tribe present identical offerings to the tabernacle upon its completion, displaying unity and dedication to the covenant with God. Chapter 8. Setting up the lamps. Specific instructions are given on how to set up and maintain the lampstand in the tabernacle, highlighting the importance of providing continuous light within the holy place. Chapter 9. Observing the Passover. The instructions for celebrating the Passover are reiterated, emphasizing the importance of commemorating the Israelites' liberation from Egypt and their ongoing covenant with God. Chapter 10. Using the trumpets. This chapter outlines the purpose and proper use of the silver trumpets, used for signaling camp movements, summoning the assembly, and calling the people to war. Chapter 11. Complaint and Punishment. The Israelites grumble about the lack of meat in their diet, leading to God's displeasure. He sends quail as provision, but a plague erupts among the people as punishment for their complaining. Moses intercedes for the people, and the plague subsides. Chapter 12. Miriam and Aaron challenged. Miriam and Aaron, Moses' sister and brother, criticize Moses' leadership and his marriage to a non-Israelite woman. God intervenes, afflicting Miriam with leprosy, highlighting the importance of respecting Moses' divinely appointed role. Chapter 13. Sending spies into Canaan. 12 spies are sent to scout the land of Canaan, the promised land. They bring back both positive and negative reports, with the majority focusing on the challenges and dangers posed by the Canaanites' fortified cities and their strong military presence. This report sparks fear and doubt among the Israelites. Chapter 14. Rebellion and Consequences. The majority of the Israelites, influenced by the fearful report of the spies, rebel against God and Moses, wanting to return to Egypt. Only Joshua and Caleb, who brought back a more encouraging report, believe in God's promise to give them the land. As punishment for their lack of faith, God condemns the Israelites to wander in the wilderness for 40 years, with only the children below the age of 20 allowed to enter the promised land. Chapter 15. Laws regarding offerings and Sabbath. This chapter outlines various laws regarding offerings made to the Lord, including burnt offerings, grain offerings, and sin offerings. It also emphasizes the importance of observing the Sabbath and prescribes the punishment for violating its holy nature. Chapter 16. Korah's Rebellion. Korah, a Levite, along with Dathan and Abiram, challenge Moses and Aaron's authority as leaders. They argue that everyone in the community is holy and question the special privileges given to the Levites. The ground opens up and swallows Korah and his followers, while fire consumes those who offer incense in defiance. Chapter 17. Aaron's Rod Buds. To confirm Aaron's priestly authority, God instructs Moses to have each tribal leader present a staff. Aaron's staff miraculously buds and produces flowers, demonstrating God's choice of him as the high priest. Chapter 18. Support for the Levites. This chapter establishes the regulations for the support of the Levites. They are excluded from inheriting land but are given designated cities to live in and receive tithes and offerings from the other tribes to sustain them in their service to God. Chapter 19. The Water of Cleansing. This chapter details the preparation and use of the water of cleansing, a ritual involving the ashes of a sacrificed red heifer mixed with water. This water was used to purify people and objects who had become ceremonially unclean due to contact with death. Chapter 20. Water from the Rock. The Israelites face a water shortage in the wilderness. Moses strikes a rock at God's command, and water flows out to provide for the people. However, because of Moses' lack of faith and disrespectful act of striking the rock, he is prohibited from entering the promised land. Chapter 21. Victories over Kings. The Israelites encounter resistance from the Canaanite kings, Sihon and Og, as they attempt to pass through their territory. They defeat both kings in battle, conquering their land and eliminating them as potential threats to their journey. Chapter 22. Balaam and the Talking Donkey. Balak, king of Moab, fearful of the approaching Israelites, hires the prophet Balaam to curse them. Despite Balaam's initial attempts to refuse, an angel of the Lord intervenes and forces him to bless the Israelites instead. Along the way, Balaam's donkey miraculously speaks, rebuking him for disobeying God. Chapter 23. Balaam's Prophecies. Balaam delivers several pronouncements about the future of the Israelites, despite being hired by their enemy, King Balak. These pronouncements foresee the strength and victory of the Israelites over their foes. Chapter 24. Balaam's Final Words. Balaam delivers his final oracle, foretelling the rise of a powerful king from Israel who will crush his enemies and establish everlasting dominion. He then departs from Balak, leaving the king without the desired curse. Chapter 25. Enticement by Moab and Midian. The Israelites are lured into idolatry and immorality by the women of Moab and Midian. This transgression angers God, who sends a plague upon the Israelites. Phinehas, the grandson of Aaron, demonstrates his zeal for God by killing a Midianite man and an Israelite woman who were caught engaging in illicit relations. This act of intervention stops the plague. Chapter 26. Second Census. A second census is conducted, revealing a significant decrease in the number of men fit for military service compared to the first census taken at the beginning of the journey. This reinforces the consequence of the Israelites' 40-year wandering in the wilderness for their lack of faith. Chapter 27. Inheritance Laws. Inheritance laws are established to ensure the proper distribution of land and possessions within the tribes of Israel. These laws address situations where there are no sons to inherit, preventing disputes and maintaining the integrity of tribal boundaries. Chapter 28. Festival Offerings. Detailed instructions are provided for the types and timing of offerings to be presented to God on various festivals throughout the year. These offerings serve as expressions of gratitude, repentance, and dedication to the covenant between God and the Israelites. Chapter 29. Offerings for specific occasions. Specific offerings are designated for various occasions throughout the month, including the new moon, the beginning of Passover, and the Day of Atonement. These offerings provide opportunities for the Israelites to seek forgiveness, express gratitude, and renew their covenant with God. Chapter 30. Vows and Oaths. This chapter outlines the regulations concerning vows and oaths, emphasizing the seriousness of making such commitments before God. It provides guidelines for how these vows can be modified or revoked under certain circumstances. Chapter 31. War against the Midianites. Following the incident of idolatry and immorality with the women of Midian, God instructs Moses to lead the Israelites in a military campaign against the Midianites. The Midianites are seen as responsible for enticing the Israelites astray, and their punishment is intended to serve as a deterrent and demonstrate the consequences of defying God's commands. Chapter 32. Land inheritance on the east side. 2 tribes, Reuben and Gad, along with half the tribe of Manasseh, request permission to settle on the east side of the Jordan River, citing the abundance of land suitable for their large livestock herds. Moses grants their request on the condition that they assist the other tribes in conquering the land of Canaan on the west side of the Jordan. Chapter 33. Journey through the wilderness. This chapter serves as a geographical record, listing all the locations where the Israelites camped during their 40-year journey in the wilderness. It provides a historical account of their travels and emphasizes the challenges they faced during their time wandering between Egypt and the Promised Land. Chapter 34. Borders of the Promised Land. The boundaries of the Promised Land are defined in detail, outlining the territory to be distributed among the Israelite tribes upon their arrival. This serves as a crucial step in preparing them for entering and settling the land God has promised them. Chapter 35. Cities of Refuge and the Levite Cities. This chapter establishes the concept of cities of refuge, designated places where unintentional killers could seek protection from the avenger of blood, someone who has the right to exact revenge for the death of a family member. Additionally, specific cities are designated for the Levites to reside in, providing them with dedicated dwelling places within the Promised Land. Chapter 36. Inheritance rights for daughters. This chapter addresses the issue of inheritance rights for daughters in the absence of sons. It establishes regulations to ensure that daughters of Zelophehad, who died in the wilderness without male heirs, would inherit their father's land within their tribe, preventing the land from passing to another tribe. Chapter 36. Conclusion. This concluding chapter summarizes the key points addressed in the Book of Numbers, reiterating the instructions for dividing the land among the tribes and highlighting the importance of following God's commands as the Israelites approach the Promised Land.